Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kelsey. Today I'm going to be doing a Q&A, so I'm going to be doing a fitness nutrition type Q&A. I have all of the questions on my phone. I asked all the questions on Instagram, so I just screenshotted all of them, so that's what I'm going to be reading off of. So let's get right into it. First one is, do you track more of your calories or carbs / sugar for nutrition? So I currently don't track anything, so I don't track calories or macros or sugar or anything like that. What are the tips for reducing bloating, as in what kind of foods to avoid? So that's pretty specific to each person. It's just kind of like what your body is reacting to. So for yourself, you kind of just have to do trial and error to see what is causing your bloating. Some people it's dairy, some people it is meat, some people it's certain vegetables. So you just have to figure out what it is for you in particular. It's not the same for everyone across the board. How long do you go on a bulk phase for? That kind of depends on the person too, how long you want to bulk for. Some people do bulk phases for months and months and months. Some people do a year, some people do 6 months, 4 months. Kind of depends on your goal and if you have something in mind. A lot of people do bulking and cutting for bikini competitions. So usually it just depends on when their season will start, how long they'll have to cut for. But it kind of depends. I would say at least a couple months to bulk to give yourself time to build your calories up to be able to build muscle. Can you build your glutes at home? I only have a booty band and max 15-pound dumbbells. So yes, there are things that you can do to maintain your muscle and build your muscle at home. Depending on what you're doing right now, you guys can increase volume in some sort of way. So you can increase your reps, your sets. But there will be kind of a plateau that you'll hit with the same equipment that you have and the same stuff that you're doing. So you will have to increase your weight at some point. But if you're just starting out, then you can definitely build your glutes at home. And to be able to build your glutes, you also have to be in a calorie surplus. So you have to be eating more calories than you're burning to be able to build the muscle. What type of muscle split do you follow, and what do you recommend for general muscle? So in general, when I first started lifting, I did a classic split. So I would do 2 leg days, chest and tris, back and bis, and then shoulders and core. So I recommend when you're first starting out to really hit each muscle group and work on everything so that you're not neglecting any sort of muscle group. The split that I follow right now is kind of changing. So I'm kind of transitioning into more full body days just because that's what I'm enjoying right now, and I want to kind of kick up the intensity of my workouts lately. So Mondays is a leg day, Tuesday is a hit circuit followed by core, Wednesday is another leg day, Thursday I've been doing shoulders and core, which I might switch to a full upper body day with some hit in there too. So I think that that's what I'm going to start doing for my Thursdays. Fridays I do full body strength, so all heavy strength days including legs, upper body, core, everything. And then Saturday is more of a full body functional hit type of workout, again more like Tuesday. So that's what I'm currently doing just because I'm liking it and I want to change it up a little bit from a classic workout split. How do you deal with food guilt, feeling bad after having a treat or Starbucks or something like that? So I definitely do get food guilt sometimes. It's usually just if I overeat. I know a lot of people don't say that they get food guilt on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, but I definitely do. It's something that I struggle with still to this day, even after being on my fitness journey for 5 or 6 years now. It's just a mindset thing. I think if I overeat, then I'll have food guilt if I'm to the point where I'm in pain from eating so much. But if I just have a slice of pizza, or if I have a Starbucks drink that's higher in sugar or calories, I don't really care about that. That's not something that I'm concerned about. So trying to avoid it, I guess just eat it in moderation so that you don't feel bad after, and just know that if you're eating whole foods 80% of the time, then you're fine. It's the whole 80-20 rule. So as long as it's not something that's a daily occurrence, then you're okay. Have you ever gotten injured from lifting? If so, how did you work around it? So I've never gotten injured from lifting. I was a gymnast my whole life, so I had a pretty good like base of muscle, and I'm pretty good with form cues too, just from being a gymnast for so long. Form is key in gymnastics because you can get hurt really easily. But obviously I got hurt 1,010 times in gymnastics. So coming back, I would just say give yourself time to rest, to recover and heal the injury as quickly as possible. And then when you get back into the gym, just make sure you're taking it slow and really working on your form and building your strength back up. Don't go in at the same weights that you were before you got injured and thinking that you can lift that much. Take it slow, give yourself time to get back into the routine of things. Exercises / tips to grow your quads. So growing muscle in general, calorie surplus is a must to be able to build the muscle. Exercises, I think that squats with your heels up on a plate are really good. Any sort of front squat is good. You can do leg extensions. Any other like full compound leg movements are good. So barbell squats, you can do back squats and front squats. Lunges, walking lunges, anything like that will help target your quads also. Did you ever track macros? I have tracked macros in the past. It was something that I did for a while, and I did a little bit of a bulk with tracking macros and a little bit of a cut with tracking macros. So I think tracking macros is definitely really helpful in being able to eat intuitively so that you have an idea of what portion sizes look like, how many like carbs, fats, and proteins are in certain foods. I think it helps a ton to be able to get to a point with intuitive eating where you're not overeating all the time. Next question, kind of similar to that. How do you train yourself to eat intuitively? I try to always end up thinking about calories. So, I mean, it's kind of just a mindset thing also with this, eating intuitively. I think personally, if you need to track and you want to track, then go ahead and do it. I know eating intuitively is kind of like a thing right now with everyone. Everyone's like, eat what you want, when you want. But if that's not something that works for you, then don't feel pressured to eat intuitively. If you want to track, then definitely track. If it's something that helps you, then do it. But training yourself to eat intuitively, I think it's just letting go of the numbers of things and not worrying as much about the numbers and just focusing on your hunger cues of when you feel hungry, when you feel full, then stop then before you get to the point where it's like uncomfortably full. Listening to your body more to see like what you actually need to be eating versus just hitting a number. Because I mean, for me at least, some days I'm really hungry, some days I'm not as hungry. So having to hit a number every single day is kind of stressful, because if you are force feeding yourself because that day you're not as hungry, then that's uncomfortable. And then it's also uncomfortable if you are actually feeling really, really hungry and you've hit your macros for the day, or you know you're going too early. So I think it's just being able to listen to your body really. When trying to gain muscle, is it better to do the same workouts and focus on adding weight? So I think in the beginning it definitely is good to stick to some sort of plan and not just do random workouts every single day of every single week. I would stick to a plan and stick to those exercises in that split for 4 weeks and focus on progressive overload and adding weight onto those. And then after about 4 weeks, then switch up your routine, switch up your exercises, switch up your split, and then sticking to that routine for another 4 weeks. I think that it does help to build muscle to stick to certain exercises and really work on increasing your weight within those exercises. How soon should I be having protein after I work out? It kind of depends. There are studies that show either way that you should have it within like the first 30 minutes after your workout. There are other studies that show that it doesn't really matter and it's just like total caloric or protein intake for the day as a whole. So it's up to you. I prefer to take it right after my workout. So as soon as I get home, I take my protein. So about like 15 minutes after my workout. What's the best times and macro groups for pre and post workout? So this again kind of depends. There are certain ways that people do things. So generally having carbs like an hour before your workout to give you the energy for your workout is beneficial. I work out really early in the morning and I'm not hungry at 4 a.m. So I just have a rice cake with peanut butter before I go, and that's perfect for me. And then I have carbs after. I usually have oatmeal after my workout, probably like an hour after my workout. So carbs to just fuel your workout ahead of time, and then post-workout I would say protein, and then maybe also some carbs to refuel. What's your go-to snack on the go? On the go, I would say a Bomar protein bar. I really like those, or I'll grab some sort of fruit like a banana or an apple, or we have like these little packs of like trail mix, so I like those a lot. Do you eat differently on workout days than rest days? It kind of depends. Since I eat intuitively, it just depends on how I'm feeling that day. I don't focus on eating less on rest days. It's not necessary to eat less on a rest day. Your body is still resting and recovering from all of your workouts, so you still need to eat and fuel your body. I eat the same as I usually would. How heavy do you usually lift for legs, arms, etc.? It depends on the exercise that I'm doing and how many reps I'm doing, how many sets I'm doing. But lately I've been trying to really push myself with weights and increasing my weights and just going a little bit heavier than I think I can, because I always underestimate myself with weights. So I've been really trying to push myself and increase my weights. So these two questions are kind of the same. One was for fitness journey, and then another one was, what was your background as far as, did you play sports or were you always into lifting? So for those of you that don't know, I was a competitive gymnast my whole entire life. I started gymnastics when I was 2 years old and started competing when I was 5, competed all the way through college. So I was a gymnast my whole entire life. So I always had that like really intense fitness mindset. We would practice for like 4 to 6 hours a day, 6 days a week. So I was always in the gym. So it was something that was kind of like ingrained in me to work out, and it was something that I got really interested in. I would say my like junior year of high school was when I started to look into lifting more and started to understand lifting. Before that, it was all like gymnastics, body weight types of workouts. And then my junior year of high school, I started looking more into lifting, because we would do like a strength type of workout. We had some weights in the gym and we had a cable machine that we would work on. So we did that once we got a little bit older. So my junior year of high school, I started to get more into lifting and like look into it more. Once I got to college, we did lift. We had to lift for gymnastics. We had 6 a.m. lifts that we had to do, but it wasn't anything like too crazy. Or what I'm doing now is more focused towards gymnastics, and it was more like rehab type lifting, like a lot of cables and slower movements. And then I would say my junior year of college was when I like really got into lifting. So I was doing like a full workout split my junior year, starting to like lift heavy and squat and lunge and do everything like I do now. So my junior year of college, I really got into it. I was still like a little bit nervous because I mean, in college, there's so much judgment already, especially because I went to a really small college. So everyone knew everyone. So I was really like embarrassed and nervous to lift in the gym with like all of the guys in there and all the other girls in there that were on the cardio machines. So I was always really nervous to like do certain exercises. Like I didn't do hip thrusts until like the end of my senior year of college, because I was like so nervous to do them, just because they're like kind of awkward. So it took me a while to be able to like be comfortable in the gym and like in the weight section, but by my senior year I was like good to go and like fully lifting, and I've been lifting ever since then. All right, and then the last question is, what are your future goals with fitness and nutrition? So right now I feel like I've gotten a little bit off track since quarantine kind of ended and getting back into the gym. My workouts have been pretty good. I'm really proud of myself for lifting heavier and pushing myself with weights and reps and sets. So I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue to build and lift heavier on my leg days, especially with the bigger movements, like any sort of deadlift that I'm doing, squats, hip thrusts. So I'm going to continue to lift heavier. I've also been really working on core engagement on all my exercises. I realized that I wasn't really engaging my core as much as I should be on each of my exercises. I would get a little bit lazy with it. So that's another thing that I've been focusing on a lot. And then, like I said before, when I was talking about my workout split, I think I'm going to change it up a little bit and do Monday leg day, Tuesday hit and core, Wednesday I'm going to do another leg day, glute focused. Thursday I'm going to do more of like a full upper body and like a mini hit circuit after. And then Friday I'm going to do full body strength. And then Saturday I'm going to do full body, more like functional hit type of workout. I've been loving full body workouts, so I think I'm going to start incorporating more full body hit inspired workouts. And I also want to work on getting some more steps in throughout the day, since I'm sitting all day at my desk working. So I want to up my steps a little bit and just kind of get back on track. I feel like I've kind of fallen off, especially with my food. I've been a little bit lackadaisical with my food, so I want to focus on getting more vegetables in, more fruit in throughout the day, and like reeling it back in. I don't think I'll start tracking anytime soon. I might loosely track just to kind of get an idea of where I'm at, but for right now I don't have any occasions that I want to like cut for or bulk for or anything like that. So I'm just gonna try to like reel it in a little bit, eat a little bit more vegetables and nutrient dense foods, and go from there. That is going to be it for today's Q&A. Thank you guys so much for watching and asking all the questions. If you have any more questions, then leave a comment down below and I will answer them there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.